Hello everyone, this is the Organizer Advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Would you like to cultivate more joy in your life? Would you like to have more time to enjoy the things that you truly love doing? We're going to make that happen, and I'm going to help you step by step to enhance your happiness and transform your life by cultivating joy. So grab a little booklet or notebook or piece of paper, a pen, and your hydration beverage, and we're going to start day one cultivating joy in our lives. I'm the Organizer Advisor, hoping you'll join me for this session of enhancing your happiness and transforming your life. Hello everyone, I am the Organizer Advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Okay, it is April 1st and we have just completed our 90-day total every nook and cranny cleaning and organizing of our home, our spiritual sanctuary, our soul sanctuary, a place where we nurture our loved ones and really be able to relax and escape from the outside world. Your home should be a place of joy. It should be a place of comfort. It should really nurture your soul, your family, really be a place where you can strengthen the bonds of your family, those that you love, your pets. And having a nurturing environment is really essential to that. So we're going to start talking about cultivating joy and nurturing ourselves so that we can enhance our happiness. So I'm switching hats from professional organizer to my life coach set of skills. And we're going to start today by just making a list. So go grab a piece of paper, a pen, pencil, and some sort of hydration. And we're going to start making a list of things that make us happy. It seems kind of simple, but you would be amazed at how often we are not engaging in activities that make us happy. So I'm going to grab a pen, get your favorite pen, maybe even get a pretty little booklet if you have one on hand, something that you can start kind of keeping track, because what I'd like us to do is be able to have a place to capture our thoughts, almost like journaling, but this is going to be purposeful for us to begin to track and collect data so that we can go back and revisit. And this is going to help us really realize our personal growth. It's going to be a place where you can write down some goals, write down your dreams, write down what are the barriers to really creating the life that you love. So we're going to get started today with what makes you happy. So there's a couple of things just in my environment right here that make me happy that I'm going to write down. One is fresh flowers. Fresh flowers make me happy, whether they're grown in my garden or I purchase these. They're purchased from a grocery store. It just is uplifting to me to see fresh flowers. I like them by my bedside table. I like them in my kitchen while I'm cooking. I like them, even in the dining room or family room, someplace where you're going to see them often. And every time you see them, it's uplifting. Another thing that I like are candles. I really love candles. Now, candles can be dangerous, so you really have to check yourself on whether or not you get distracted easily and forget about them. If you do, use electronic candles. I like candles just because I love the warm glow. It's just a romantic, soft feeling. So I like candles in my home. I also like really fragrant candles that make my home smell good. So that's another thing I like, is smelling pleasant scents in my home. So, and in my car. So when I walk in, I want to smell something wonderful. Yesterday I made a pot of French onion soup and it just smelled so good. I love the smell of bread baking. I love the smell of, linen spray. So supporting my senses with scent is really uplifting to me. When your home smells mildewy or musty or stagnant, it diminishes your energy, and we're going to increase our energy. We're going to start to increase this vibration, this happiness. We want to get into a state of bliss. And we can't do that if we have all of these little energetic tugs diminishing our energy. So I like pleasant smells. I like the smell of bread baking. I like the smell of, just a nice fragrant spray. I love the smell of linens that have been dried outside. So consider that in your home. What makes you feel uplifted when you smell, and how can you incorporate that into your home's atmosphere? Okay, another thing I like is I like water, ice water. I like all of my beverages that are cold with ice. So when I drink my water, I like to have ice, so that makes me happy. So I carry around water with me everywhere I go. I like light in my home. I like a lot of natural light coming in. I love I love the feeling of a clean home. I love the feeling of being organized. Okay, now let's talk about some other things that make us happy. What are some hobbies that make you happy? Some people like knitting, some people like painting, some people like drawing, some people like paper sculpting or woodworking. I like beadwork. I like to collect really pretty glass beads, and then I like to do some beadwork with them. And I have a couple of projects that I've done that every time I see them, they really make me happy. So if beadwork is something that you do, or if you knit or crochet or paint, write down what hobbies you have that make you happy. Could be music, dance. Just start to let your mind kind of attach to things that give you a little rush of happiness when you think about them. So think about some things that you like to do that make you happy. Okay, I also like to spend time with my pets. I enjoy the interaction with pets. I love having that really personal time with pets. I have a lot of pets, and I spend a good part of my day really interacting with pets because it makes me happy. I like to nurture them. I like the unconditional love they give me back. I like to spend time with my family. I like cooking. I like reading. I love poetry. I love plants. I love gardening. I like creating. I like creating menus. I like creating dish gardens. I like creating plant marriages where I have pots that have a variety of plants that go well together. I love vegetable gardening. I love the thrill of picking my own veggies. I love recycling or upcycling. Okay, so you get the gist of it. So make a list, and I mean truly make a list. Get yourself a little book or a binder or just a spiral notebook, whatever works for you. I like it to be uplifting, so I like it to be pretty. Get yourself a pen. This one was just given to me by my friend, but find a pen that you kind of makes you happy, that feels good, that writes good, and then just start making a list of things that make you happy. And then once you're finished with the list, I want you just to take a few minutes and I want you to review it and then contemplate, how much time do you spend engaged in these activities? How much time in the day do you get to spend engaged in these activities? Like, when you get off of work, do you have time to be able to spend some time crocheting or reading a book or, having a romantic dinner, cooking, decorating? How much time do you have in your life to engage in those activities? And how much time do you spend doing things that make you happy? Realistically, let's just have an honest conversation. Realistically, how much time do you get to spend participating in activities that make you happy? Because if you say 0, that's a life management issue. It could be that you're working long hours, and that's understandable. It could be you have children and family members that need care, but there's also a prioritization of self-care and taking time to make yourself happy, because this fills your cup and you can't give as much from an empty cup. So being able to step away and take time in doing something that just makes you happy, it's a great opportunity to meditate while you're engaged in that flow of being really it's like consumed. It's like your mind is really focused on something, and that just gives you that energy. It's like, this feels good. It feels good to be in that flow where you can just let your mind go and relax, because when you're doing something that makes you happy, you relax. And that's very supportive to your physical chemistry, your emotional well-being, as well as it gives you a sense of fulfillment. Okay, so once you've made your list, review it, and realistically, how much time do you spend engaged in the things that you enjoy, that make you happy, that are soul supporting? And then if you are just this is what normally happens, is that you just get into this chaos loop where you get up, you rush to get ready for work, you rush to get the kids off to school, you rush when you're on your way home, you're rushing to get home, you're rushing to get the house clean, you're rushing to get dinner fixed, you're rushing to get the kids to bed, and then you're exhausted. And many of us fall into this chaos loop. And this becomes absolutely one of those energy diminishing and soul crushing loops where you don't feel like you have any time to yourself, and you end up just existing, not living, not thriving. My goal, my desire is to help you thrive in your life. And we can do that by taking some steps to help you start to cultivate joy, but we're going to have to carve out some time for that. Now, if you are in that chaos loop, many of you feel very hopeless. You're like, how do I'm not even enjoying my life. This can actually lead to a physical and psychological depression. So if you feel as though you are at that point, please talk with your physician, because your body can get into a response mode of being really physically depressed. So that is where I was, and I have been there, and I had to find this journey back. So what I would like for us to do is to start planning some self-care, some self-nurturing, and some time where we are actively engaged in things that we love doing to make us happy. Okay, so once we have maybe selected one or two things that we enjoy doing that we can realistically do, like we have the materials on hand, I have my crochet needles and basket and yarn, those kind of things, I want to start to plan. And when you make your to-do list for today, or however you kind of prioritize the activities that you engage in, plan for 15 minutes. 15 minutes to engage in that activity. You can do one activity a day off of your list, utilizing different activities, or you can just pick one that you're going to do for 15 minutes a day. So let's say you want to crochet. 15 minutes a day. That could be while you're having your coffee. That could be when you come home. You're going to take 15 minutes before you start engaging in your home caring routines and taking care of family, where you're going to say, okay, kids, it's time for you guys to do your homework. Mom's going to take her 15 minutes of personal time, and she's going to have a pot of tea, and she's going to listen to some soft music, and she's going to crochet. So start carving out that time for yourself. You can dedicate 15 minutes a day to yourself. So plan on how you're going to do that. Pick a time that's going to be most conducive to you to be able to do that. Set yourself up for success. Don't do it at 8 o'clock at night when you're tired and exhausted, unless you're a night owl, and that's the time that you like to take time for yourself. But if you're a morning person, you may want to plan this in the morning. You may want to do it while you're having your coffee in the morning. So I want to kind of encourage you to shift your prioritizing from always doing things that are just trying to help you catch up to taking that self-help time to, it's called healthy selfishness, where you take that 15 minutes to engage in your activity. Make sure you have everything out where you're not having to spend your 15 minutes trying to find it. So set yourself up for success. Get a bin, basket, or box and put your items in there if that's something that you would facilitate your taking this time. And then after you take that time, after that 15 minutes, I want you just to take a moment to become aware of how it felt. How did that feel to you? To take that 15 minutes and say, this is for me. This is something that gave me happiness. I really enjoyed that time. I was very relaxed. I want you to bring in the self-awareness of how you felt during that time, that little session with self. Because that's going to help us reactivate and keep that momentum going when we feel as though we are actually doing something positive. A lot of times we've been programmed that taking time for ourselves was negative, and we're going to have to shift that paradigm, that taking time for self can be positive for us, because it helps us to reconnect with our authentic self, which energizes us, which strengthens our bond with ourself, so that we can offer the best of ourselves to others. Okay, I'm going to leave it here for today. Try this activity. Comment down below if you have ideas, if you want to share some of the things that make you happy. Also, if there are barriers. We're going to explore what are the barriers in our next session, but you might want to start thinking, what are some of the barriers that keep me from engaging in these activities? And those are some ideas that we can find solutions to together. This is the Organizer Advisor wishing you health, happiness, and harmony, here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life.